Welcome to the RIP 28 podcast. The RIP 28 podcast. This is a podcast where a few good friends can get together and we can talk about a few good things. Now, some of those things we talk about you're going to like. Some of the things we talk about you're probably not going to like. But we're going to keep on talking about them. I am your humble host. I'm Sly the Sports Guy, joined by a couple of my good friends, my good homeboys. We'll start off bottom right hand, Salt Man. What's going on, Salt?
What's happening, family? Back again. Got a good topic today. Ready to get it in with the fellas. Let's go.
Down on the other side, the educator's educator. What's going on, Bron?
What it is, it's Beezy the great man, the educator's educator, ready to get educated to get this body right.
Up in the top, the newest ATL in. What's going on, Chan?
See money in the building. Let's get it.
All right. Now, if you're wondering, we got a guest. This is a part of our health series. You know, we talked a little bit about mental health with Jay-Z Little and Forward Counseling. Now we talked about your head. Let's talk a little bit about your body, getting yourself in shape. So what we decided to do, we decided to call in the trainer extraordinaire, your physical fitness coach, your life coach, your strength coach, personal trainer. He does a little bit of it all. The one and only Mr. Torrin Rhodan. How you doing, Torrin?
Good, man. Hello to all.
Good to have you here. Now, Torrin, like I told y'all a little bit earlier, Torrin is a physical trainer. Been doing it for quite a long time. Been doing it for almost 20 years now, You can check out Torrin. We're going to throw this information out there a couple of times for you. But for our people listening on Spotify, and you can't see the graphics, you can check out his website. His website is www.functionalmovementrx.com. That's functionalmovementrx.com. And you can get in touch with Torrin. You can call him at 864-363-9074. That's 864-363-9074. And that's how you can get in touch with Torrin. Now, Torrin, you are a physical trainer, a life skill coach, or whatever. How long have you been into this, and how did you decide to get into this?
Man, it's coming up on like 20 years, man. And like I went to school for education to teach, and to me, like being a trainer, you know, it's just another form of teaching. It's just outside of the classroom. So, you know, still take all the information that you learn through your time, and you give that information to people who may not be aware, who don't know. So it was kind of like, it was a natural transition for me, you know, coaching and, you know, just helping people achieve their goals, man. So that's kind of how I happened upon it, and I've just been rocking steady with it ever since.
Okay.
What's up, man? You know, I used to teach and coach too, and I did some training and stuff too, but then I chose a different profession. Yeah. And after that, the pounds started coming back on because I wasn't physically active as I used to be. You know, I used to stretch every day I was a PE teacher. So, you know, I had 6 classes. I'm stretching every day, running, showing them how to do stuff. You know, I was in good shape. But then as soon as that stopped, I stopped working out and stuff, man. And about 50 pounds later, I'm like, what happened to you, boy?
yeah, it can happen, man.
So I'm really interested in this conversation.
Now I would be curious because I don't know anything about the training game. You know, every one of us on this panel, you know, we all ex-college athletes. You know, we all at one point in time were fine specimens. You know, but then life hit, life isn't, we're not that fine physical specimen we was 20 years ago.
Speak for yourself, Sly.
Well,
Exactly, bro.
I'm still fine. A fine physical specimen. I might can do a couple of sit-ups every now and then. I might do it. But here's my thing, Torrin. Here's my thing is in my mind, I'm an athlete. You don't never lose it in your mind, but why would I need to go to Torrin Rhodan as a trainer? What do you bring to the table that makes me need to go to you instead of doing it on my own?
Man, it's accountability, man, because like you said, 20 years down the line, you have, this to do, wife, kids, so to niche out or to carve out maybe 45 minutes to an hour on your own, that might be something that you may need a little bit of assistance with. I mean, you can go on YouTube and look up a video of a workout, but I guarantee you, if you were one of your homeboys, or if you were with me, you're gonna go a little harder. I'm gonna make sure that you try to go a little bit harder. Or if you would chance for say, and y'all in the gym, one another. So I'm a big proponent of having someone that's gonna hold you accountable, or have a workout partner, somebody that's gonna be able to push you. So I think just looking up a video at the house and be like, all right, man, I'm gonna go ahead and hit this little 45-minute hour workout. Man, next thing you know, you're going to the refrigerator.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna get on your phone for a second to check something out. In my experience, you know what I'm saying? And that's what having a coach can kind of be like, all right, man, come on. We're gonna put matter of fact, turn your phone off, and we're gonna go ahead and get this in. And then after that, then you can go ahead and go about the rest of your day. So it's more so accountability than anything else, man.
I can definitely attest to that, because I done got back to good weight plenty of times. I'm like, man, I'm straight. Then you slow down and you stop doing what you was doing, and the next thing you
start going back to those bad. You start going back to those bad habits, or you know what I'm saying? Cut a couple of pounds, or cut 20 pounds, or whatever the weight, whatever the amount, and then next thing you know, you're like, all right, well, okay, I had a good few weeks. I'm gonna go ahead and get this bag of chips, so I'm gonna go ahead and, and it's like, my thing is like, man, like everything in moderation. Like I don't, any client, anything, like I don't get on them and be like, okay, you got to stop eating this entirely, or you got to stop, like I'm like, man, if someone comes to me and is like, hey, I like to eat, pasta like 4 days a week, I'm like, okay, let's just try to cut it in half. So let's go from 4 to 2. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna sit there and say, hey, no more pasta ever again. You know what I'm saying? Because for some people that's unrealistic. So we just try to, whatever it is, just you consuming alcoholic beverages 3-4 days a week, man. All right, let's try to cut it in half. You know what I'm saying? Or one thing that I always tell clients, like especially around Super Bowl time and this time of the year, like if you're gonna go somewhere, well, a lot of people aren't going going places because of what's going on. But I'm like, man, if you're gonna go to a party or something, eat before you go to the party if you know you're gonna be drinking alcohol, because next thing you know, if you go there and you hungry and you get a couple of drinks in you, next thing you know is buffalo wings, is nachos, is guacamole, and then so you eating bad and you drinking bad. So my thing is just like, man, just pick one. Like if you're going, you know what I'm saying? So simple things like that, man. Like if I'm gonna go someplace, man, I always try to eat if I know I'm gonna, do something else that's not gonna be the best for me. So it's just certain things like that, man. Just certain things like that.
Torrin, let's say if I can't get to a gym or I can't get to you, what are some things we can do around the house that can kind of ease us back into it? Like Sly said, we're all ex-athletes and we like to think we're still in tip-top shape. But realistically, what are some small things we can do to kind of work our way back into it?
Man, I tell you this, like I always try to keep it simple, man. So I'm saying if you're trying to get to a certain level, or just try to build on where you are now, man, I'll say, man, just go for a 10-minute walk every day, just to start, just 10 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Morning time, evening time, whatever. Just a nice little 10-minute walk, clear your head, nothing crazy. And then do that for a couple of weeks, and then, maybe start just jog a little bit, 30 seconds, 60 seconds. something like that. And then I always keep it simple, man. Knock out some push-ups at the house. You get some push-ups at the house. I tell people, you get some push-ups, you do some sit-ups, maybe some body weight squats or some lunges. That's full body. It's full body. And a nice little walk, keep the heart rate up, burn some calories, simple stuff. No equipment, nothing. And you know, especially having that athletic mindset, you know, as you start raising your intensity, you try to push yourself more. Like, all right, okay, and you know, that's kind of how you can kind of get back into that fold. And you ain't got to worry about, you know, fancy equipment, this, that, the other, man. But just something like that: push ups, sit ups, squats, and a nice walk, a couple of days a week, man, and you'll start to feel it.
You ain't lying about that. I started off walking during the pandemic because I teach. I'm in education,
Yeah.
and we were out for 7-8 months. So
Mm.
I started just walking like a mile, and then that mile didn't satisfy me, so I kept going. And now I got back to where I could run 2 miles straight up
Yeah.
at the Lake Murray Dam. So yeah, I
Mhm.
get you on that.
Yeah,
I know
because
you see.
that's the same thing, because my wife is in education as well, and you know, and I'm dabbling back into education too. So, you know, that long layoff, shoot, we got to the dam, and then, you know, so what we do like interval sprints. So I would scratch off and run, and then my wife, when I stopped, my wife, she would scratch off and run to me. We'd walk for about a minute or two and just hit it all the way down, just all out sprints. Got back, you know, got to the end of the dam, turn around and did it again. That's just good work
Yeah,
right there. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
and it's a nice place to cool your head, get your thoughts
Yeah,
right
kind of
out
clear,
there
get
with
some
that breeze.
space, you know, and you don't have to worry about all that, you know, you kind of mind off of it a little bit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But yeah, man, just gradual steps, man. Just simple stuff, man. You know, you don't have to try to reinvent the wheel.
You know, it's funny we say simple stuff, man, but then I just pulled up the Instagram and your ass doing it upside down, pull-ups on the rings and stuff, man. I might have skipped too far ahead in the training.
hey, that's
That's
definitely too far ahead for you, Sly.
I,
Right now,
I ain't ready. I ain't ready for that one. Not yet. Not yet.
hey, you
I'll
mess
get
around
back
and do
to
that.
it.
Hey, you mess around and do that and choke yourself out with them funny bags you got.
That day is fly.
Hey, but you still my guy, the sports guy. You still my guy, buddy.
I appreciate the vote of confidence. I appreciate the vote.
That's right. That's right.
Like you
That's
see, I
right.
didn't laugh, dog.
Of,
I ain't
Yeah.
laugh.
Hey, because he thought the shot was gonna be sent his way, Sly. He ain't know where it was going because his is just a tad bit smaller.
Hey,
Hey,
I just
it
feel you,
seems like
Sly.
nobody's safe with y'all. Anybody can get it, huh?
anybody can get it on the Rip 28
Anybody,
podcast.
bro.
Now let me ask you another question, Torrin. You know,
Yeah.
we're kind of curious about, you know, the services that you provide, that you provide. You spoke a little bit earlier about advising people to change their diet. Like, you know, if I'm in the Columbia area, I'm in the South Carolina area, and I say I need a trainer, what all are you gonna bring to the table? Why do I need to go with you?
Well, one, I mean, it all depends on what you're trying to achieve. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have a canned theory. Like, if you're trying to lose, let's say, I mean, just looking, I'd say what, 50, 60 pounds?
100.
100. So Sly, you know what I'm saying? I'd come up with something completely different for you as opposed to Salt Man. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, we would sit and we talk. You know, I usually try to get an idea of what everybody's eating, because you can't out train a bad diet. So, you know, I always try to get some type of nutritional aspect to it. So figure out what it is that you're eating. See if we need to take some things out, put some things in. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, body fat is just stored energy. So if we can get the energy levels up and kind of get a handle on the nutrition aspect, you know, if weight loss is your thing, then we can go from there. Like, for example, like Breon wasn't weight loss. Breon wanted to look a certain way. I mean, we started out, she was already like 130 something pounds. You know what I'm saying? So fat loss wasn't her thing. so we came at another, so we did a lot of heavy lifting to really put some some good muscle on a frame. You know what I'm saying? So just it all depends, man.
So she wants some booty, huh?
Yeah. She did a lot of lower body stuff, a lot of pull-ups, working on shoulders, and of course, with a lot of women midsection. So we did a lot of, a lot of things to really get that metabolism up to burn fat. So just all depending, you know what I'm saying? So that's how I try to look at it, man. Like just, it's a case to case basis, you know what I'm saying? And you'll find a lot of people just give everybody the same. They'll give Chance and Salt Man and you the same workout, but y'all have 3 different goals. You know what I'm saying? I don't do things like that, so.
Well, I got something for you, Torrin. So, I, I'm in not as young as I used to be, and I realized that, and I can't eat everything like I used to before.
Yeah.
So, I've tried to. I think what's really kind of helped me kind of maintain a decent weight is kind of keeping portions smaller. Not just necessarily keep eating and eating.
Yeah.
But aside from that, I've seen also like the keto diet. You see it everywhere as people's posting pictures and talking about, hey, I'm doing my keto. What do you think about that approach as far as how it relates to, the whole getting in shape?
I've seen in the last several years that everybody's talking about keto and things like that. And it's supposed to put your body in a state where it's basically in a fat burning state. And me personally, I don't. There's nothing that I've ever really I've done myself. But I would say this for you in terms of if you know that of course as we get older our metabolism slow down, and you can't eat what you ate when you were 22, 23, and then and bounce back. But I would just say, just really be cognizant of your portion controls and or your portion control, and then making sure your activity levels are up too. Because that's gonna help. It's just one. It's gonna keep you in a fat burning state, and therefore you can still have some of the things that you had before. Just mindful of your portions, and you won't have to worry about putting on any excess weight.
Also, one more thing too that I never really got a straight answer because I've heard different um, options as far as getting in shape. So some people say, hey, lose the weight and then tone up. Some people, they kind of just try to start the whole getting in shape when they kind of have that excess weight.
Yeah.
Is there any suggestions for people, should they lose weight first and then tone up, or should they just go straight into kind of just working out till they get to where they want to be?
You talking about lifting weights?
Well,
Man,
not so much just lifting weights, but just getting in shape. Should they lose weight first and then tone, or what?
Focus more like in terms of like focus more on like maybe the fat loss aspect of it. And
Right.
then after you lose the desired amount of weight, then man, I would, to tell you the truth, man, I would mix both, to tell you the truth. I would have some days where you focus mainly on the fat burning aspect of it, and then days where you would work on the strength aspect of the muscle building aspect of it. Because what a lot of people don't realize is that lifting weights burns a lot of calories. So and then depending on how you lift the weights, you can definitely get a good cardio burn as well. So I would mix it. I would put the two together. Like if you came to me, like, hey T, I want to lose weight, and then byproduct of losing that weight is I want to put on some, I want to, once it's all gone, I want there to be muscles there to pop. So I would put the two together. There'd be a certain day for some fat burning cardiovascular, and then there'd be a strength training day, and then probably alternate that throughout the week or several days a week.
All right, because I do see some people who like run all the time, and I call them skinny fat.
Yeah.
Like skinny, they skinny, but they still flabby. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
you got like he was saying, you got to put a mix in that, I guess. So.
Yeah, I mean, because like you said, you see the skinny fat. I see them all the time. I mean, people scratch off and can run all day, but then gotta have a little baby gut, you know.
Right.
And you know, because they get to a point, I mean, where it's diminishing returns. I mean, you're basically running and you're eating up all your muscle running, you know, and then that skinny fat is what you got. Now you can probably scratch off and run 10 miles, but what you gonna do?
When I catch you, I'm gonna kill you.
I mean, you can't even do a pull-up or a push-up, but I mean,
You better not tussle with nobody, because
yeah. Hey, you run away? You gonna run away? But yeah, man, I definitely I'll mix
Hey,
it.
Torrin,
Yeah.
I like your services.
Was that? You said what now?
I think LeBron froze up on him.
Oh,
I think he might have been saying something about your services, everything that you offer. You know, they say personalized.
Yeah, I
training.
was gonna ask. I like your services.
oh, appreciate it, man. Yeah, man. I tell you the truth, man. I mean, it's just kind of happenstance to kind of just take me place to place, or it has taken me place to place, man. Like I was living in Greenville, working at this gym, teaching like boot camp type classes, and one of the kids' dad or one of the parents came, was like, hey man, can you do some speed agility with a group of kids? And that was at Hillcrest. Man, I can't remember what year that was, but so that's how I kind of segued and started working with the athletes more. And we were doing speed agility, man. And in that year, them boys, they won the state championship in Greenville, man. And then from there, we just kind of, just
snowball from there, huh?
yeah. So just started working with them boys, basketball players, baseball, and it just, just kind of fell in my lap, man.
You was working with Coach Porter?
No, I was working with one of the parents. It was just one of the parents, and he would come to the gym, and he had a group. It was it was about, I think I had 8 of them, and it was and we would just go out to
Okay.
we would go out. What's that damn park we would go out to? We go out to the park like 3 times a week, and just agility ladders, sleds, relay runs, just all kinds of stuff, man. And them boys, they got quick, and they won the state championship that year. But that was just off the strength of one of the parents, man. He was just like, man, yo, because he saw some of the work that I was doing in the gym, and he was just like, them boys could definitely use you, could definitely use you, and kind of paid off for them, man, and it paid off for me as well.
That's what I was about to ask you. I was going to ask you, do you do like high school group rates or group training? Because I coach high school down here in Columbia.
Mm-hmm.
And I know some kids that can really use your services that's kind of getting prepared for college.
Yeah.
And to move on to the next level. So
yeah,
I'll get with you. Once we finish the podcast, I'll get with you about that.
Yeah, definitely, man. Because I'm in Columbia now, man. So, but yeah, we like,
Oh yeah,
definitely.
Hey, Tony,
yes, sir.
I got a quick question for you, man. You kind of alluded to it a little bit earlier, talking about your portion control and stuff like that. How much does liquid drinks and stuff affect calories and stuff, like of course alcohol, beer, and liquor and stuff,
I mean,
but then like sugar drinks, sodas, and stuff like that.
I mean, to tell you the truth, man, it can affect it a lot, man. Depending on how much you consume it, because you look at it too like this, like I mean, alcohol, man, it's just all you're doing is pumping estrogen into your body. You know what I'm saying? And that's going to counter. I mean, testosterone. So you putting all this estrogen in there, so you already know that's not what we want. But I also don't trip too. Like, I mean, like I said earlier, man, like me personally, like I drink vodka. You know what I'm saying? I don't do too much cranberry. I'll do like a maybe a club soda with it or something like that. But like all that brown sugary, or I stay away from all that stuff. I don't really drink too much beer. That's just empty calories. So
You just get straight to the point, huh?
Yeah, like you know what I'm saying? I just
No fillers.
oh, Hennessy and all that crap, like that's just got a lot of sugar and stuff in it, man. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, everything in moderation, but that's just my thing. You know what I'm saying? So just but it's also the same thing too, Chance, like just be mindful of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, if you're a beer drinker, you're a beer drinker, you know what I'm saying? But just try to find something with, less calories or something like that, man. Or,
What about like soda and juices and stuff though?
Yeah, sugar, man. Too much sugar. You got to if you gotta watch that stuff, man. I mean, I would, and I've had clients who just, sugar is like crack to them. I used to train this one chick, man. She was completely infatuated with cotton candy, man. And I was like, I don't even know where you get cotton candy when the fans. Listen, straight up and down, she had a cotton candy guy. Like every day she was eating cotton candy. And I told her, I was like, yo, listen, you have some type of vitamin deficiency. Like you need to get a multivitamin. Like you shouldn't be fiending for sugar like that, But you gotta be mindful. Like those sodas and it's, man. I had another one for you. I had this girl, this woman. She was she used to drink 2 liters of Coke every single day.
Yeah.
2 liters of Coke every day. She stopped doing that for, I swear to you, it was either 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and she lost like 25 pounds. Just off of that, she lost like 25 pounds. Just straight up not drinking a 2 liter of Coke every day, man. So that it can impact you greatly, man. So Chance, I don't know how much juices and things like that you consume, man, but if you can cut some of that, man, it'll definitely help.
How about fried foods? What do you say about fried foods? I know.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta. Oh man, everything's got to be in moderation. Like I mean, if you're getting a piece of fried chicken like every 3 weeks, like sure, but if everything is fried,
yeah,
you just gotta curb that dog a little bit, man. That's it. I mean, that's all it is, man. It's not. It's no big secret, but
one of the big things I hear is bread and cornbread and carbs and stuff like that is bad for you too. But
it's carbohydrates aren't bad. Carbohydrates are instant energy. So when you consume a carbohydrate, depending on your activity level, carbohydrates can be good. But the thing I always tell people too, like especially if we first start out, I'm like, okay, I want you to write out what you're eating in a week. And then, usually people who like a lot of pastas and breads and things like that, when I look at it, it's like, okay, it was French fries on Monday. Wednesday is fettuccine Alfredo. Thursday is a baked potato. Friday is French fries and something. So 7 days, four and a half of those days, you eating some heavy carbohydrate. You know what I'm saying? So you got to curb that dog, cut that in half. So if it's 4 days, get 2 days. Get your pasta. If you're a pasta person or bread, get you a Jimmy John's sub or something and just kind of go from there, man. But, they try to vilify carbohydrates. Carbohydrates aren't bad, man. You just gotta be conscious of how much carbohydrates you're eating.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Torrin, back to Chance's question, though. I think he was asking about the alcohol because he wants you to tell him how much he can have so he can feel good about himself. I got you, Chance.
So he won't wake up in the morning and be like, man, damn, I ain't shit, dog.
So he want to know how much he can have so he can feel good about himself.
Hey, he may have said that he drinking that water. I'm like this on my cup.
Okay, you got a solo cup.
Put it down.
As he sips on his drink, he's like, how much now?
Exactly.
Sly, don't try to put your water in the picture, man. Ain't nobody.
Hey, man.
That's right, Vodka.
Don't hate on me because I'm healthy. Don't hate on me because I'm healthy. I'm getting back down to my stripper weight, man.
Yeah, you are in Atlanta, right, Sly?
Hey, about to make this money, man. About to make this money. All these rich women in Atlanta, they need somebody to dance for them.
Go ahead,
Hey,
slide,
man,
slide.
hey.
Talk to him, slide.
Hey, it's a great show. We need to go ahead and wrap it up after that, man.
Yeah.
I won't be. I can't take but so
Well,
much
hey,
of that, man.
yeah, we took,
Hey,
hey,
good
slide
night.
talk about stripping. We took the wrong off ramp, Jack.
Wrong, boy. Totally wrong for this guy. Certain things that should never be put together in a sentence. Slide and stripping.
Let's get back the way we're supposed to be at, man. Here's my thing, and here's what I'm wondering, man. Just listening to a lot of the stuff you said, a lot of things we can do is based on moderation, a little bit of self-control.
Yes.
You know, so it's okay to have a drink, but leave it at a drink. You know, don't get out there and
I mean, but even what, you know, everybody's number's gonna be different. But like I was saying earlier, like if you going someplace and you know, you're gonna go hang out, socialize, watch a game or something, either you know, because you know, you start drinking, and next thing you know, you start, you know, get the munchies, so to speak, and then you start, and then you know, start nibbling on this, that, the other. That's why I always tell people, like, eat before you go someplace, and then try to eat something good. So then when you get to wherever you're going and you have a couple, you know, you're not like, okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead and grab this and snack on this and snack on that. So you can kind of counteract that. You know what I'm saying? But it's all moderation, it's all discipline. So if you want a drink or just 2 drinks or just 3 drinks and then take you behind home, and yeah, you know what I'm saying? So
Hey, Hope. Now, one thing. Now, you giving all these good facts, man, and I want to make sure that our people out there know. Yeah, he's giving you a lot of information, but you can get in touch with Torrin, and he can give you he can set something up with you guys. Y'all can set up a session, and you can work things out. I don't know his prices, but he ain't doing it because he want to volunteer. You know.
yeah.
He is in here trying to make some money out of it. So I want to make sure everybody knows they can reach Torrin. If you want to call him, you can reach him at 864-363-9074. That's 864-363-9074. Or you can go to his website. That's www.functionalmovementrx.com. That's functionalmovementrx.com. And you can get in touch with Torrin, and Torrin can set some things up, walk you through some things. I don't know, you might even do a Zoom workout with it. You know, whatever that. If you need it, he's your trainer, your coach. Torrin to get you straight. Yeah, anybody? I just wanted to go ahead and let the world know real quickly. I kind of cut you off, bro. You were saying something?
No, I'm good.
Well, I got something. So, Torrin, you know, as we come upon Thanksgiving and Christmas, you know, some people look for these holidays to put in some work at the dining table, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, for those people like that, you know, that still want to stay in shape and not hurt themselves, you know, what do you propose for them to do? You know, should they have a certain workout before, you know, those holidays, Thanksgiving and stuff, or should they just expect to kind of work that stuff off afterwards?
Well, I mean, I would like, you know, I would want someone to continue to work out throughout the holiday. You know, I mean, if you have your day, I mean, so you're gonna have your Thanksgiving, that's a day. You know, then you have maybe your Christmas dinner. Maybe 2 or 3 other big dinners, but within the scope of that whole month, or from now until the end of the year, you should still be getting your work in, you know. So I mean, that's how I feel. Like I think it would be, you know, counterproductive to be like, okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead and get this real big meal on Thanksgiving, and then I'm gonna go ahead and get December out of the way, and then, you know, January, like that stuff. I haven't seen it to really work, man. Even if your workouts aren't as frequent as they would be, as long as you're getting some good work in, you know what I'm saying? Even, I mean, just, old school after Thanksgiving dinner, go for a walk, just something, just, it doesn't have to be anything too drastic, but throughout the holiday season, man, I would definitely suggest that everybody, still try to keep your activity levels up.
Hey, before we get out of here, I got a little more lighthearted question. All right, so a couple questions. So you train men and women, right? All right, now I don't watch a lot of videos and shows and stuff where the trainer come in and girl want to work out, but she want another kind of workout too, man. So do you run across crazy stuff like that, man? With being personal trainer, being in good shape and everything, and you got these women out here, trying to throw themselves at you.
Yeah, I mean, look, yeah, man. I mean, you do. I mean, you do. You do. I mean, it's sometimes. I mean, it's out there, man. They be out there throwing alley-oops sometimes.
You put Torrin on the spot. Torrin a married man, man. You put him on the spot, bro.
I'm just being real, man. Y'all done seen it. Y'all done seen it before, man. That stuff happened, man. And I just want to know.
Yeah, it does, man. I can yeah. Yep, it happens. There you go, right there. Yep, it happens.
Chance wish he was a trainer now.
Hey man, I don't
used to be trying to find it. That never happened to me.
I done used that line before. Trainer line before.
Fly, you said you were a trainer?
I done used that one before. Hey, sometimes you gotta go extra for the win.
I'd rather you tell you a trainer rather
nice to be the cable guy.
Hey, I done used them all before, bro. I get creative. Whatever it takes for the win, man. Whatever it takes for the win.
Hey, it's not a lie if you believe it.
Exactly. Well, here's another thing. I mean, we are very, very happy that you joined us. You joined us here today, Torrin. We appreciate all the information you gave us. Our fellas, you guys got any parting shots as we try to wrap this thing up? Anything y'all want to say?
No, man, I think it was just some good information, because, I've been looking to kind of get back in shape, not necessarily to play ball or anything, but just to live healthy and get back in shape. So, some good information. So I appreciate it, Torrin.
Yeah, man, definitely, man. That's what it's all about, man. Just, each one teach one. Just give it out there and let you take it and do what you can do with it, man.
Right.
Chance, any parting shots?
I asked mine. I heard all I need to know.
Put the solo cup down, Chance.
Hey.
What about you, Bron?
Man, I appreciate it, man, because like I said, I'll be giving you a holler because I have some players that I think could use your services, man. So it was good, man. Glad that we can get on here and help promote your business, man. Anything we could ever do for you, just let us know, brother.
Yeah, definitely, man. I appreciate it, man. Definitely.
All right, man.
And one other thing, Torrin, if you ever, one thing, Sly. If you ever start advertising and stuff, you see two people on this podcast, you can't promote. So just keep that in mind. Know who you promoting and what you promoting.
hey, charge LeBron double, whatever you.
Come on, man. Come on, Chance, man. Come on, man. Don't be like that. Now, why you be like that, man? Don't do that, brother. But nah, man, it's always good kicking it with the fellas, man. Y'all guys, man.
Yeah, definitely, man. I like this, man. And I hope it grows, man. It's it's definitely some good stuff, man. Good vibes, man. Good energy.
We definitely appreciate having you here. And once again, for all our viewers out there, all our listeners, you want to make sure you can get in touch with Torrin. You can reach him at www.functionalmovementrx.com. functionalmovementrx.com. You can hit him on Instagram. He's at Rhodan. Rhodan, that's Rhodan spelled with a Rhodan. Rhodan. You can reach him at Rhodan on Instagram. And Torrin get you right. He'll get you right. Like I said, I've known Torrin for about 20 years, and he's been in the training and physical fitness, and he made that his life. And he's real good at what he does. I've seen all his videos on Instagram of how he works everybody out. He has plenty of good testimonials out there about himself and his training. Once again, this has been another great podcast here on the RIP 28 podcast. You know, it's a spot where a few fellas can get together and we can talk about a few things. Once again, some of those things you might like, some of those things you might not like, but we're going to keep on talking about them on the RIP 28 podcast. We'll see you next week. I have no idea what the hell Change just said.
It wasn't important.
And just mumble something. I had no idea what the hell he just said.
I said his only failure was knowing you for 20 years and couldn't get you right.
I guess he was one of his failure stories.
Hey,
you can't save
even
everybody. You can't save everybody.
There's an exception to every rule.
Exactly.
And Sly was his exception, man. Even Michael Jordan missed sometimes.